Known for its quick passing, amazing stick work, hard hitting, and blistering shots that travel over 120 miles per hour, lacrosse is called the fastest game on 2 feet. For many decades, lacrosse was little known outside the northeastern regions of the US, but in recent years it's become the fastest growing team sport. What many don't know is that the original stickball games that lacrosse is based on has in fact played a significant role in the spiritual, cultural, and recreational lives of indigenous people across the continent, dating back over 1,000 years, making this the oldest sport in North America.
There are many variations and versions of stick and ball games with indigenous people all over this continent. But the version that is played across the world, the roots of that version can be traced and tracked to the Haudenosaunee and our particular version of the game itself. Lacrosse is known to our people as Dehonchico Ace, which means to bump hips. This game has been part of who we are since our origins. And so life, when we came to this plane and this space from the sky world, we brought that game with us.
Lacrosse has an essential role in indigenous cultural history. It strengthens the community by using the creator's power to help heal those in need. That's why it's called the medicine game.
So when we all bring in our good intentions together, we are able to generate and create medicine. It could be played for a person who is physically ill, for someone who is struggling emotionally or mentally, for the health and well-being of an entire community. Like any other medicine, it helps to heal. And not only can it heal that individual that we're playing for, but it also can heal the hearts and the minds and the spirits of those that are participating and observing.
While it was a competitive game, it was also about playing the right way. And while the game was clearly the predecessor to modern lacrosse, it was different than what people see on the field today.
So there are no boundaries, there's no out of bounds. There is no designated spaces where there's infractions or penalties, so to speak. But it is an understanding of how we play. And that's really what the medicine is about, is that we put our minds together as one and we play as one to achieve that singular goal.
French Jesuit missionaries working in the St. Lawrence Valley of Canada in the 1630s were the first Europeans to see the game. One of them named the game Lacrosse because he thought the sticks used to play it looked like the cross on the staff of the French bishop, hence lacrosse. Canadian George Beers wrote down rules for the game, many of which followed the traditional way the natives played. He wanted lacrosse to serve as the unifying symbol for the emerging Canadian nationality, and it did in fact become the national game of Canada in 1859. This sounds good in theory, except he didn't want the Indigenous players to be very involved.
George Beers and his journey with lacrosse is a complicated one. Indigenous players gift this game to these new people that come to the land, and then ironically, they're later on eliminated from participation. And so the contemporary game, the essence of the game itself still exists.
Lacrosse had a strong influence on the development of other sports. Dr. James Naismith, who grew up playing lacrosse, modeled his invention of basketball on the game in many ways. In addition to being America's fastest growing team sport, lacrosse is now a global phenomenon, being played in 92 countries around the world. After an absence of 120 years, lacrosse will return as an Olympic sport in 2028. And in light of its current popularity, it's important to remember its origins.
The contemporary version is not the medicine game, but the essence of who we are and our relationship to that culture and to this game will never disappear. When we show up on the field, we represent not only our country and our people, but also we represent all of our ancestors.